Dear students, welcome to my class. In my previous class, I showed you the different rules of right forms of verb. Particularly, I dealt with the rules of finite verbs. And today we are supposed to deal with the rules of non-finite verbs. But before going to the rules of non-finite verbs, I would like to show you the finite verb as well. For your recollection, you see, verbs are basically two kinds of finite and non-finite. To understand the difference between finite and non-finite verbs, we need to understand the definition of both forms of verbs. Have a look. Finite verb is one which has an agreement with the subject. But the non-finite verb is one which has no agreement with the subject. And you see, finite verb, as I have already mentioned, agrees with the subject. It is changed according to the rules of tenses or the rules of time, and the rules of number and the rules of person. In the first example, we play football. We see play is the verb used in the simple present tense. But in the second sentence, we see we played football. And here the verb is used in the past tense. So in both sentences, the verbs are changed according to the rules of tenses. So they are finite verbs. And in the third sentence, we see he plays cricket. And here, play is added by S only because of the person. As you see, the person here is third person singular. So S is added to the verb play. And in the fourth sentence, they are good players. Here, are is the verb used in the plural form because the subject is in plural number. So, we see the finite verbs are those which have an agreement with the subject and they are changed according to the rules of tenses, the rules of number as well as the rules of person. But have a look at the non-finite verb, which is our today's topic. Non-finite verb has no agreement with the subject. That is, this form of verb is not changed according to the rules of tenses or the rules of number or the rules of person. And non-finite verbs are three kinds of. They are infinitive, participle and gerund. And these three non-finite verbs are used as an adjective, as a noun or as an adverb. That is, they are not used or changed according to the rules of tenses or the rules of subject or person, number. They are not connected with the rules of tenses, numbers or the person. They are used as adjective or a noun or an adverb. They are verbs, but they are not used as according to the rules of tenses or the number or person, but they are used as an adjective or a noun or an adverb in a sentence. If you look at the board, you can easily see the examples given here. My dear students, it is an important rule of English grammar. Many of you find it very difficult to understand non-finite verb, and I have told you several times that non-finite verbs are very, very important for English grammar. And for you better understanding of non-finite verbs, I have shown you some examples. You see, he went to Dhaka to visit the zoo. Here, two verbs are present. One is went, another one is to visit. The first one is changed into past form according to the rules of tenses. So it is a finite verb. But that one is used as an adverb here in this sentence. And it has no connection with the rules of tenses or number or person. So this is a non-finite verb. You see, in the second example, swimming is a good exercise. And here, swimming is used as a noun because is here as a verb, and so swimming is used as a subject, and it functions as a noun. And in the third example, this is a running bus. Here, running is used as an adjective because it shows the quality of the bus, whether it is a standing bus or a running bus. It is a running bus. So the word running qualifies the noun bus, so it is used as an example. So we see the non-finite verb, noun or an adjective or an adverb. Now it is my responsibility to show you how to deal with the non-finite verbs, that is infinitive, participle and gerund, individually and separately. Have a look at the next page. Non-finite verbs are three kinds of, as I have already mentioned, infinitive, participle and gerund. And now you see the uses of infinitive. Infinitives are how many kinds of? They are 6 kinds of infinitive we see in English grammar. Infinitive in active form and in passive form. You see, in active form, infinitives are 4 kinds of. And in passive form, infinitives are 2 kinds of. So in total, infinitives are used in 6 formats. The first format you see, simple infinitive. What is the simple infinitive? The structure shows that a simple infinitive is 2 plus the base form of verb. For example, to do, to go, to read, to know, to understand, all these things. And this simple infinitive can also be used in passive form. You see, in passive form, the structure should be to be plus past participle. And to use past participle, you can use the symbol V3. As you know that a verb has 3 forms, present, past and past participle. So present verb can be symbolized as V1, past form as V2 and past participle form as V3. So this one is simple infinitive, and we will talk about the detail of simple infinitive in the next pages. So now let us talk about the other class of infinitive, that is continuous infinitive. So continuous infinitive is used only in the active form, not in the passive form. You see, the passive form of continuous infinitive is vacated. In active form, to be plus present participle. For example, to be doing, to be reading. And I can give you a detailed example. The boy was found to be reading. He seems to be cooking in the kitchen. So to be plus past participle is called continuous infinitive. The third one, perfect infinitive. This is a very important infinitive, though it is not used as largely as simple infinitive is used, but it is a very significant class of infinitive. You see, the structure of perfect infinitive is to have plus V3. That is, to have done, to have written, to have understood, to have finished, like this. And one thing I should tell you, that usually with the verb seem, appear, perfect infinitive is used. I can cite you an example. He seems to have understood me. In Bengali we can say, Budhoy she amar kothati bujheche. He seems to have understood me, or he seems to have got my point. বোধহয় সে আমার পয়েন্টটি ধরতে পেরেছে। এরকম করে এই সিম এবং এপিয়ার এই ভার্বগুলোর সাথে পারফেক্ট ইনফিনিটিভটি ব্যবহৃত হয়। তবে মনে রাখতে হবে যে দিস perfect infinitive can also be used in passive form, and in that case passive form should be as such to have been plus past participle, to have been plus past participle v3, that is to have been done. Here not to have done in active form, but in passive form it should be to have been done. That is, the work seems to have been finished. This is a clear example of perfect infinitive in passive form. He seems to have understood me. This is an example of perfect infinitive in active form, but the work seems to have been finished, or the building appears to have been constructed, should be the example of perfect infinitive in passive form. Another one, perfect continuous infinitive. And the structure shows to have been plus present participle, that is to have been doing, to have been reading. And perfect continuous tense is used the work which started a few time ago and still it is going on. This is present perfect continuous tense. And perfect continuous infinitive is used like he seems to have been reading the book for an hour. মনে হয় সে 1 ঘন্টা ধরে বইটি পড়ছে। So the word the action shows it is perfect continuous infinitive. So infinitive and its classes are already discussed here. Now it's my turn to talk about the uses of simple infinitive, because you all know that simple infinitive is used in a large scale. In different forms of sentences, simple infinitive can be used. So it is very important for you to understand the uses of simple infinitive, and I should advise you, I should request you to have a look at the usage I have shown on the board here. And for your information, I will upload these pictures on the board in your on the same page of Hobbyganj Sorkari Mohila College, and I think it will be very helpful when you will note down the information given on the board. Now you see uses of simple infinitive. The first one is very important. Being a Bengali speaker, we must know that when at the end of a Bengali word there's a letter like te or ite, we use simple infinitive. For example, she Dhakai jete chahe. So there is a te at the end of the non-finite verb jete. So we commonly assume that it should be used in a simple infinitive form. The English form of the sentence is he wants to go to Dhaka. He wants, you see, it is a finite verb because it is used according to the rules of tenses as well as the rules of subject. And the other verb should be definitely non-finite, because in a simple, remember, in a simple sentence, in a simple sentence there should be a single finite verb, and all other verbs, rest of the verbs will go to non-finite verb. So as there are two verbs here, and once goes to simple present tense, that is the finite verb. So the verb to go is a non-finite verb. And how we have changed the non-finite verb, as we see at the end of the Bengali verb, te is here. So we have used it in the simple infinitive. He wants to go to Dhaka. Jete, to go. Khete, to eat. Porte, to read. Bujhte, to understand. Likhte, to write, as such. But it is very important to note that there is an exception of this rule, and if you do not know the exception of the rule, we will be mistaken. So it is urgent, it is very essential for you to understand the rule along with its exception. What is the exception? With the verbs like see, feel, hear, watch, find. I repeat, the verb like see, feel, hear, watch, find. These are the verbs should be immediately followed by a present participle instead of infinitive. You see, if you translate it in Bengali, I saw the girl dancing. আমি মেয়েটিকে নাচতে দেখেছিলাম. So there is a te. So you might be mistaken if you don't understand the rule, exception rules, that is see, feel, hear, watch, find are the verbs immediately followed by present participle. We see, I saw the girl dancing. Here there is a finite verb like see, and the finite verb see is immediately followed by a non-finite verb with present participle. So I saw the girl dancing, I heard him singing a song, I watched him reading a book, like this. Now another use of simple infinitive, number 2, with the adjectives. You see, with the adjectives, simple infinitives are used. For example, I'm happy to see you. Here, happy is an adjective and it is immediately followed by an infinitive like to see. And in the second sentence, he is glad to meet you. Here, glad is also an adjective and it is definitely followed by an infinitive, simple infinitive, to meet. And the third use of simple infinitive is in the structure shown in the board is an example of simple usage of simple infinitive. It is or it was plus adjective plus infinitive. This is very usual and everywhere we see such type of sentences being used. And you see, it is easy to say but difficult to do. You may be mistaken in thinking so that as it is a proverb, it is easy to say but difficult to do. So we know it very well. No, actually this is the structure. I have shown you with this proverb because it will be easy for you to memorize this sentence. It is easy to say but difficult to do. Actually, easy is an adjective, difficult is another adjective, and both these adjectives are followed by an infinitive, simple infinitive, to say and to do. Even if I say it is important to understand it. So important is an adjective, it is followed by an infinitive. It is noteworthy to remember this thing. So noteworthy is an adjective, immediately followed by an infinitive. So simple infinitive is used in such structures. Number 4, as a subject of a verb. Sometimes we see that a simple infinitive is used as a subject in a sentence. To tell a lie is a great sin. You see, I'm giving an example, a very simple example I'm always giving you, only because you can memorize these sentences easily. And one thing you should remember, you may forget these structures, but you must not forget the examples. Example is better than precept. We all know it. And so I always give very easy examples for you to understand and for you to remember for a long period of time. And now you see, it is easy to say but difficult to do. And number 4, as a subject of a verb. To tell a lie is a great sin. And number 5, and this is the most important rule. Number 5, with the following verbs. If you look at unit number 52 of the book Intermediate English Grammar by Raymond and Murphy, unit number 52, you will see this usage being very clear for you to understand. You see, with the following verbs like offer, refuse, hope, aim, try, attempt, fail, threaten, agree, etc. And only these verbs are not enough. There are some other verbs. You can check it and follow the verbs will also help you to understand it better. And now, one thing I can help you to memorize these verbs. Two ways I will show you to help you to understand it and memorize it. As all these verbs will be followed by a simple infinitive, that is to plus V1, that like to do, you can use all the verbs with to do for better memorization, like offer to do, refuse to do, hope to do, aim to do, try to do, attempt to do, fail to do, threaten to do, agree to do. So if you memorize it this way, I have already shown you, you can easily convert it into other sentences like offer to go, offer to read, offer to write, and as such. So first try to remember them with to do. Offer to do, refuse to do, hope to do, aim to do, try to do, attempt to do, fail to do, threaten to do, agree to do. Now I will make fun with you. These verbs can be easily memorized if you remember a story. You see, offer. I'm telling you a story. একটি ছেলে একটি মেয়েকে অফার করেছে। মেয়েটি যথারীতি মেয়েদের যে অভ্যাস, ছেলেরা অফার করলেই রিফিউজ করে, তো তাৎক্ষণিকভাবে তাকে রিফিউজ করে দিয়েছে। অতঃপর ছেলেটিও বাঘের বাচ্চা আশায় বুক বেঁধেছে, লক্ষ্য স্থির করেছে এবং তার চেষ্টা এবং প্রচেষ্টা অব্যাহত রেখেছে, কিন্তু সেকেন্ড টাইম সে আবারও ব্যর্থ হয়েছে। অতঃপর সে চিন্তা করলো যে আমার মনে হয় একটু আঙ্গুলটা বাঁকাতে হবে। তো ছেলেটি একটু থ্রেট করলো, দেন মেয়েটি এগ্রি করলো। এরকম ভাবে একটি গল্পের ছলেও আমরা এটাকে মনে রাখতে পারি। তো এরকম করে ইনফিনিটিভের ব্যবহারটি তোমরা খেয়াল করবে এবং পরক্ষণে আমি আগেই বলে নিয়েছি যেগুলো আমরা আপলোড করে দেব এবং এগুলো আপলোড করা টপিকগুলো দেখে তোমরা নোট করে খাতায় লিখে রাখবে এবং এক্সাম্পলগুলো তোমরা অনুসরণ করবে। এবং আমি তোমাদেরকে আরো কয়েকটি বিষয় বলে দিব হোমওয়ার্ক ক্লাস শেষে, এগুলো তোমরা মনে রাখবে। নিশ্চয়ই এই ক্লাসগুলো তোমাদের ভালো লাগবার কথা, যদিও বিষয়টি একটু কঠিন, কিন্তু আমি চেষ্টা করছি একটু সহজ করে এটা তোমাদের কাছে উপস্থাপন করার জন্য। And in the next phases also I will try my best to make my lecture easier for you. Now you see another item of right form of verb, that is present participle. Now participle in Bengali we call it kriya bisheshon, so it functions either as an adjective or an adverb. Participles are three kinds of: present participle, past participle, and perfect participle. Present participle is used when two forms are in the present, that is present plus present. For example, আমি পড়া শিখে কলেজে যাই. Both forms are basically belong to simple present. So when two forms are present, then present participle is used. When two forms are in the future tense, present participle is used. But when two forms are in past form, but there is no break of time, there is when I say আমি স্যারকে দেখে সালাম দিলাম, seeing the teacher I saluted him or I gave him salam. সো আমার স্যারকে দেখা এবং সালাম দেওয়া দুটো কাজ একসাথে হয়েছে, এই কারণে আমার এই প্রেজেন্ট পার্টিসিপলটি আমরা এখানে ব্যবহার করেছি ইয়া প্রত্যয়ের কারণে। আরেকটা হচ্ছে যে দুটোই ফিউচারে, যখন আমরা বলছি যে ভাত খেয়ে আমি কলেজে যাব, তো দুটো ফর্মই কিন্তু ফিউচার, আমি ভাতও খাইনি কলেজেও যাইনি, তাহলে ইটিং রাইস আই উইল গো টু কলেজ, সো প্রেজেন্ট পার্টিসিপল ইজ ইউজড হিয়ার অলসো। বাট দুটোই যখন পাস্ট টেন্সে হবে কোনো ব্রেক থাকবে না, সেটা আমি আগেই বলেছি যে আমি স্যারকে দেখে সালাম দিলাম, স্যারকে দেখেছিলাম সালাম দিয়েছিলাম এবং দুটো কাজ প্রায় একই সাথে হয়েছে, কোনো ব্রেক নাই, এই জন্য ওই সেন্টেন্সটি এখানে প্রযোজ্য হবে। আরেকটা ব্যবহার হচ্ছে প্রেজেন্ট পার্টিসিপল, সেটা অ্যাডজেক্টিভ হয়। যেমন আমরা এর আগে একটি উদাহরণে দেখিয়েছিলাম যে দিস ইজ আ রানিং বাস। রানিং ইজ প্রেজেন্ট পার্টিসিপল ইউজড অ্যাজ অ্যান অ্যাডজেক্টিভ। And past participle is used in three forms: in passive form, in perfect tenses, and as an adjective. In passive form, there is every passive form is in past participle form. There is the boy was killed by a snake. So killed, past participle used in a passive form. In perfect tense, there is I have done the work. Here done is a past participle used in a perfect tense. As an adjective, in passive form. As an adjective, this is an unfinished job. So unfinished, the past participle form used, past participle adjective used in a passive form. And perfect participle, it has to be noted that past participle has a single structure, a single use. It is used when both the activities belong to past tense, but there is a break of time, clear break of time. In present participle, no, there was no break of time. But in perfect tense, perfect participle, there should be a break of time. For example, নাস্তা খেয়ে আমি কলেজে গিয়েছিলাম। দ্যাট ইজ আমার নাস্তা খাওয়া শেষ হয়েছে, তারপরে আমি কলেজে গিয়েছি। আমার নাস্তা খাওয়া এবং কলেজে যাওয়া দুটো কাজ নিশ্চয়ই একসাথে হয়নি, দুটি অতীতকালে হয়েছে, কিন্তু দুটো কাজের মধ্যে একটি সুস্পষ্ট ব্যবধান ছিল। এই কারণে এখানে যে ইয়া প্রত্যয়টি, তার ইংরেজি করতে আমরা পারফেক্ট পার্টিসিপল ইউজ করব। যেমন হ্যাভিং হ্যাড মাই ব্রেকফাস্ট আই ওয়েন্ট টু কলেজ। সো হ্যাভিং ডান, হ্যাভিং ফিনিশড, হ্যাভিং রিটেন, এই হচ্ছে পারফেক্ট পার্টিসিপলের এক্সাম্পল। লাস্ট অফ অল আমরা আলোচনা করে নিব আজকে জিরান সম্পর্কে। হোয়াট ইজ জিরান? ইন বেঙ্গলি উই কল ইট ক্রিয়া বিশেষ্য। সো বিশেষ্য তোমরা বুঝতেই পারছো, বিশেষ্য মানে নাউন। তাহলে দ্য ভার্ব, আইএনজি অ্যাডেড ভার্ব, when it functions as a noun, we call it a jiran. And present participle is also ing-added verb, and jiran is also an ing-added verb. But there is a difference between the two in terms of meaning. Participle is a kriya visheshon, there is adjective and adverb, and jiran is a kriya visheshon, that is, it functions as a noun. So there is a gulf of difference between the two. Now you see, jiran is used in some places. For example, it is used as a subject, like walking is good for health. So walking is a subject of the verb is. It is also used as an object. I enjoy traveling. Here traveling is a jiran used as an object of the verb enjoy. Number 3, it is also used as an object to a preposition. Example, he is addicted to gambling. Here gambling is a jiran followed by the preposition to. And most importantly, with the following verbs, let me read it out: stop, finish, mind, enjoy, suggest, miss, risk, avoid, delay, postpone, fancy, imagine, etc. তোমরা জানো স্টপ অর্থ থামা, ফিনিশ অর্থ সমাপ্ত করা, মাইন্ড অর্থ কিছু মনে করা, এনজয় অর্থ উপভোগ করা, সাজেস্ট অর্থ পরামর্শ দেওয়া, মিস অর্থ কোনো কিছুকে অপূর্ণ মনে করা, রিস্ক অর্থ ঝুঁকি নেওয়া, অ্যাভয়েড অর্থ পরিত্যাগ করা, এড়িয়ে চলা, ডিলে বিলম্ব করা, পোস্টপোন স্থগিত করা, ফ্যান্সি ইমাজিন কল্পনা করা, এগুলো। তো এই ভার্বগুলো যখন থাকবে তখন তারপরে যে ভার্বটি আসবে নন ফাইনাইট, এগুলো যখন ফাইনাইট ভার্ব হবে, রিমেম্বার when these verbs are used as finite verbs, then the non-finite verbs that will follow them will be added by ing. That is, we should avoid smoking. Here smoking is a jiran because there is a verb like avoid before it. So avoid influences the verb smoke and adds ing to the verb. Similarly, he delayed taking decision. Here taking is also an example of jiran because it follows the verb delayed. So this is how today we have discussed non-finite verbs in detail. I would request you, my dear students, to follow my class and follow the things I have written on the board and note down them. And I would suggest you to follow the book Intermediate English Grammar by Ramon and Murphy, and this book will definitely help you to understand non-finite verbs better. And you can also follow the book like High School English Grammar by Ren and Martin. These two books will definitely help you to understand finite and non-finite verbs in detail, and my class will definitely give you a glimpse of idea about the difference between the finite verb and the non-finite verb. And one thing I would remind you now that check unit number 51, 52, 53 of Intermediate English Grammar by Ramon and Murphy, and also I would request you to exercise the examples given on 52 and 53 of the book Intermediate English by Ramon and Murphy. And if you have anything to know from me, please give me a message or comment on my video, and then I will give you the answer in return. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.